Hi there, CPAC goers in Hungary. How exciting for you that you have the opportunity to hear from some true leaders, happy warrior freedom fighters who are working every single day to promote freedom and to make certain that the focus is on keeping our freedom, keeping our faith, our families, and preserving hope and opportunity for future generations. I hope that you are energized and that you come away inspired. It is going to take each and every one of us doing our part to expand freedom around the globe.
Hey. It is your weekly Corner Späti. It is myself, Nick, joined with Uma.
Hello.
And we have a very special episode that more or less fell into our lap this week.
Yep.
We were supposed to record on Thursday, but we had to postpone. Now, this matters for the listener because, you know, what happens behind the scenes, maybe you care about, maybe you don't. But it's a beautiful, as in beautiful, I mean, a very gloomy, crappy Berlin
and I think it
Saturday.
just started raining as well.
Yeah, glorious. Perfect day for
Lovely.
podcasting with your pals. And yesterday was the final day of the 2-day extravaganza that I knew existed and then forgot that they're doing it again, which was CPAC Hungary.
Yep.
All right. So for those who are, I don't want to say like live under a rock because this is a very American-centric thing.
Yeah, it's so niche as well.
Yeah. CPAC is conservative. What does it even stand for? The
Conservative Political Action Conference.
Conference, yes. I thought it was political action. It's like the PACs, like the super PACs and shit like that. Political Action Committee. That's it. But yes, the Conservative Political Action Conference, which typically in the United States happens once a year in, you know, your favorite right-wing state. Take a pick. It's been in Florida before. It's been in Texas. It was in Arizona, I think, last year. Mm-hmm. Sad I missed it. But I think I was actually in town for it, too, which is even funnier. Because I remember, no. I was in town for a TPUSA thing in Arizona where Don Jr. was going to be speaking. And I really wanted to, you know, go on down to the Memorial Coliseum, like all the way. The thing that's really funny too is that I don't know how you got a bunch of conservatives to go onto like the west side of town in Phoenix. Incredibly dangerous.
Is it? Oh, okay.
It's incredibly dangerous and notorious for all the things that conservatives don't like. That is in like a high Latino population, high poverty because of racism and stuff like that in Arizona. But yeah, so they got them all there for hear Don Jr. do his best impression of his dad, but. CPAC Hungary has been this thing that that CPAC has been trying to like internationalize the swag that is being a right-wing goon, which I didn't realize was something that then needed to be done because it's such an American phenomenon of I remember before this I had like a talk with my mom because a friend of hers actually went to CPAC one year or like a friend's son or was like, oh yeah, what was it like? And even for someone who's like a psychopath conservative, they were like, "Oh no, like CPAC is too insane." It's like conservative Disneyland. Okay. And there's a very good Chapo Trap House episode forever ago where they went to CPAC and they talk about it, and it's like you could like have your picture taken in like a Guantanamo Bay cell or something like that.
What
like
yeah. So it's like a more or less. It's not only like conferences in the US. I mean, is it like, do they have like stands or like where you can? Yeah, you can get like, you can get your picture taken or whatever with, or you can go and like it's like Comic-Con for.
Yeah, it's Comic-Con for fascists.
For fascists.
Yeah, except for, that's the Comic-Con for fascists where you don't really understand what fascism is. You don't think that you're a fascist. There is like the thing about the United States and the conservative movement in the United States, and this is why I think that then when there was that whole thing of like, is Donald Trump a fascist? Like that discussion never mattered because the U.S. doesn't have fascism in a traditional sense. Like no one in the United States is going to proudly say, I'm a fascist, except for someone who's so fucking online that it's like, you know, like the same characters on be like, I'm a Hajaist. It's like, no, you're not. Like, that's not a thing.
You mean more like actual politicians and like people?
Like, like where Europe has, you know, card carrying members of these really bad organizations. So the CPAC thing has always kind of been like, you know, it has all the aesthetics of fascism, but then all of the American, you know, bells and whistles to go with it, you know, freedom, liberty, democracy,
the woke mob,
anti-woke,
anti-woke.
Politics. Though, the woke mob, this like the stuff that then is coming into the, you know, I mean, again, we're doing the show in Germany. This has been a topic that's like become in vogue, like the last year with the German reactionaries that you have. Then like the people like Ulf Polschert with like the Woko Haram stuff. Again, still a banger phrase, but like there is like the culture war stuff is at the front, and you know everything else is kind of more or less taking a backseat because, to be very fair, the current conservative movement or the right-wing movement in the United States is just, we love Donald Trump. That's it. Yeah. And I think nothing else puts it more like nails it like more on the head than when they try to export it other places. Yeah. Because that type of politics cannot work. And I think the best example was the clip that I put at the beginning of this episode of Masha Blackburn clearly having no idea who she's speaking to.
She doesn't know. Like, it's just so vague and so like, I guess we think the same way, so I'm just going to say 4 things that I think you know, are right, and that's it. Like, as you said, she has no idea who the fuck she's talking to or what the fuck like this.
I guarantee that every like except for Steve Bannon, because Steve Bannon is an actual white supremacist and like actually does probably worship Hitler.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Like, they do not know where Hungary is on the map. Like, Tucker Carlson does too, because Tucker Carlson's going to move there. Like,
is he?
I guarantee you he is. He kept saying forever. Like, he did maybe you weren't aware of this, but like a few years ago he did like a whole show in Budapest for like a week.
Okay. No,
to be like, this is the new like Jerusalem for the right, more or less. And they've been pushing Hungary as this thing because, you know, Orban has been solidifying his power, you know, pretty much through like illegal means and you know, sham elections. But so they've been seeing Budapest as like this house on like, you know, this like, you know, like Jerusalem for them. And like even like Jordan Peterson apparently is moving there now too. Because, you know, remember there's if you want to like avoid like a sex crime, you move to Russia. Okay. All right. Yeah. However, now Russia's no longer in vogue or whatever. So if you want to do like freak shit, you know, that's why like Andrew Tate moved to like Romania. You know, so they all like, there was a documentary that Kieran and I watched as well. Rob was there too, where we watched it about Poland from, I forget that bald guy's name. He's like a Canadian guy, political commentator as well, who like made a documentary about how like free Poland is and this and that and that.
Oh Jesus, no! I thankfully don't know who that is.
Yeah. Well, good for you. Yeah, lucky. But so Europe is this frontier for all these Americans because, again, either half the time they they, I think, legitimately believe that Hungary is the like anti-woke capital of the thing, or they are just obsessed with the Andrew Tate thing of I can do sex crimes and not get in trouble, which is like also unfortunately a reality that I think people need to also properly address about that a lot of right-wingers move there because they can get away with rape or other forms of sex crimes. But needless to say, we're not doing an episode about that. That's a very dark topic.
Jesus. Let's move on.
Yeah, so I don't really know how to fully like encapsulate all this in the best way of understanding, because I also don't understand what CPAC is trying to do here, you know, of importing this American style. But I think the best way of kind of starting it off is then seeing who sent in video messages.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to start with maybe not the first one, but the one that then is nearest and dearest to my heart because of one of Hungary's biggest fans, which is Tucker Carlson. All right, Tucker Carlson, a man who, again, I fully believe when he says, I wish I could be there, he 100% means it because he loves Hungary, he loves Viktor Orban.
Yeah.
I am very surprised that another person wasn't there, and I'll talk about that in a bit, and maybe he'll eventually make it, but there's also, I don't think he'll ever go to one of these because of certain things.
Okay.
Yeah. So Tucker Carlson, first thing first, being like, damn, you know, given this is from the 5th of May, and the week before he lost his job, or 2 weeks ago lost his job.
Yeah.
The week before, the Monday before, lost his job.
Yes.
And a very poorly timed video message says, if I wasn't working, I would be there.
No. Even worse. It's like, if I ever get fired, if I ever get fired and I have time to come, I'll come.
Yeah.
And I would have paid to see the reaction of like everybody sitting there because like
they would have been hooting and hollering, being like, you're coming next year, baby.
Yeah, he's coming.
It's like, Tucker. Whatever Tucker is.
Oh
and
my
well, I
God.
guess... No, wait, his last name wouldn't become his first name because his last name is his last name. Never
Carlson,
mind.
yeah.
Hungarian naming convention.
The thing is, I saw Nick tweet about this video, but I didn't watch it in that moment. And then I just watched it before recording, and like I was alone in my place, and I like literally screamed like, "Oh no!" And like I cringed so hard into it because it's like, it literally is like a 30 seconds video as well. That's all he says is like.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so bad. It's so cringe.
Yeah, that's the thing that's so funny is that then every video message doesn't say anything. You know, you could like normally have like a thing of like, oh, hey, here's my talk. You know, because there are people who, I mean, yeah, CPAC is like any normal conference. You have panels, you have, guest speakers, you have this, you have that. Tucker Carlson could have easily have done like a thing like, hey, here's 5 minutes about, anti-wokeism or any of that bullshit.
Yeah.
Or, here's what we have to like, recreate the Strasserite movement or something or whatever.
No, it's very much of like, hi, I'm relevant in these circles, and hi, I'm Tucker Carlson, and goodbye. You know, like it's
see you next year.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, because it literally is that thing where, coming out, like the band coming out and being like, oh, yeah, what city are we in?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Budapest? What up, Budapest? Yeah.
Exactly.
Like that is it. It's I mean, okay, like I said, Tucker Carlson does love Budapest. I think he was legitimate that he will be there next year. Again, I think Tucker Carlson's going to be in Europe in like the end of this month. Unless he's like facing a charge, like a lot of people. On this list.
Like literally everybody else in this fucking.
Then we gotta, move down the list of then the main hit of CPAC every year.
Man.
The main man, the one who didn't start it all, but in my opinion started it all.
Yeah.
Donald J. Trump, baby. Woo. And if I'm not mistaken, he had 2 video messages. One for the first day, and one. It could have been an old one though,
I think
because
it's the 2022.
Oh, it is because their website made no sense to me.
Oh yeah, all the videos are still the 2022 ones. I had to go to their actual YouTube account, and it just makes no sense at all. It's very badly like.
But then they have videos that are from this year on their website. It is again, CPAC has so much money, and they want to do. This will be a recurring theme is that then the production quality of all this is really bad.
Yeah.
Whether it be the live stream or just the like really pathetic things of like the stuff I've seen on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I do want to go to this one year. I'm making a goal of that. Then we are going to
subscribe to our Patreon.
No, we're not going to. No. I'm not going to have Patreon people spend money. No. We're going to get press passes to go and report for next year for CPAC Hungary, and maybe get bullied, but I don't care. Because none of these people I find remotely intimidating, especially as the 13-year-old Italian.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, he's 30, but still, like, anyway. So Donald Trump, the man, just how did it start again? Because you just mentioned this before.
Oh yeah, the intro. It's so fucking weird. So all of these messages are just like the person speaking, but obviously Trump, being Trump, he has an edited intro that I guess his team made with like this. It
could have just started
voiceover.
Just like.
But like the voiceover as well. Like the voice is such a. like the same voice actor that they use for like fake SNL ads, you know, like it's just like so weird. But anyway,
that could be Hungary's best, like
no,
that they
he's
have
American,
to offer.
I think.
I don't know. I'm just
no,
again. I never know because the production quality of all this is so horribly bad.
But they say it's basically like a short intro on like how Trump like went from rags to riches. Like he was just a construction person, and like now
he was a real estate mogul.
Yeah,
with one dream.
But then they go, and then you know he wanted to save America, and he ran for president, not for fame, money, or power, which he already had. Like literally, the person just goes, you know, like he's so selfless. He already had all of this, so he ran for president.
Yeah. Oh, but
it's ridiculous.
So Donald Trump hits all the notes. And the thing that's very funny with Trump is that when he does like one of these video messages, which are scripted, they're not very good. But he, you know, I mean, he's like, oh, you know what? It just, you know, goes on about like, you know, Hungary is protecting the West the same way that they're protecting our values.
He personally shouts out Orban as well.
He's like, shout out to Viktor Orban, and like, we're defending Judeo-Christian values. A word I've not heard in a long time.
What did he say? Like he said like great politics, great man, or something like that. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Viktor Orban like nutted a little bit. And
he literally, he was in the audience like,
yeah. Viktor Orban's just eyes just went fucking crossed. But Donald Trump, though, you know, my man can't end anything with just, you know, in a normal way. Given this is addressing Hungary, and so he says, "God bless you all, and God bless America."
Woo!
King. I don't know who that was for, who that was directed at. I hope it was at the nation of Hungary. I hope it was. I mean, because I also, again, in that moment, I really want to know what the vibe in the room was. Because
I feel like everyone would have started cheering or something like, ooh, yeah, USA.
This is the thing I find that's so weird, though, because Hungary is a country that just like historically hates the United States.
Yeah.
And the right in Hungary have always been very skeptical of the United States forever.
Yeah.
And I just find it so funny that because, you know, Trump knows the notes to hit in order to get the Americans hooting and hollering and this and that and that.
Yeah.
But he can only really play to one crowd, which are the piggies in the United States. Like that type of international, like, you know, boisterous chauvinism of his that he has from being a reality TV show star, like the rest of Europe finds like kind of gross, regardless of if they like his politics, you know? They Hungarians who are racists and in Fidesz and in all these other parties like Trump because he's Trump, obviously, but they don't like him because he's like American. They don't like American values to them are just like they'll accept that stuff. You know what? Oh yeah, sure, whatever. Say that stuff. But yeah, no, deep down, like Hungarians are incredibly skeptical of Americans in general.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that's just so funny is that then CPAC has no clue what they're doing, kind of just like doing this like broad stroke stuff of like, well, shit, this works in America. And in the reality, the only person who could ever successfully do this is our next person. Which is the only man in the United States who understands how European fascism works because he himself prays every day that he was born
in Hungary.
Born in Germany in the 20s.
Oh, well, okay.
Which is Steve Bannon, which he is looking so bad.
He's looking rough. Oh my God! Like
I wonder if that's because he's been hanging out too much with like the Red Scare girls, but.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh yeah, they interviewed him. Yeah, you forgot about that. Yeah, you erased that from your memory.
It's honestly sometimes my brain is thankfully like a sieve, and I just like don't think about.
I too would remove any relation to anything of that of the two of those.
He does need a haircut as well.
He needs a haircut. Rough. His complexion. If Steve Bannon
is sad as hell, look at this.
Yeah, if Steve Bannon is the poster boy for the master race, I want no part of it.
Yeah,
it's you know, I know I shouldn't be like, you know, body shaming or anything like that. That's not very nice. But my God, my man looks horrible.
No, he just looks rough. It's not even about body shaming.
No, yeah.
Like, sometimes people just look rough. Like,
yeah, you've seen better days. Again, like I said, Steve Bannon again understood. Like Steve Bannon I can guarantee you when he got the notification or like the memo of like, sir, do you wish to go to CPAC Hungary? His message is 5 minutes long.
Yeah, it's
all the other ones are about a minute, 45
one.
seconds.
Yeah.
Steve Bannon hits all the notes, and by all the notes, I mean the like legitimately scary ones of where he just starts like doing dog whistles about like Jews and stuff like that. You know, just I think repeats George Soros' name like 4 times, 5 times in his message. Calls it, you know, doesn't call the movement, oh, freedom, patriot lovers. He's like the patriotic nationalist movement or whatever they called it.
Yeah, he's the only American that has, at least the only American that has sent a video to CPAC that, like, as you said, actually knows and understands what these people believe.
He is talking
what they
again.
Want.
He is talking. You know, like while Donald Trump is playing his greatest hits of like, oh, you know, Viktor Orban, you're great, you're beautiful, I love you, I would love to come to Budapest. Donald Trump, though, too, would also then be a dick and be like, oh, Budapest, as they call it. He would give you a little lecture of like 2 cities, Budapest came together. The Lenin one was one of the best ones where Trump can somehow pronounce things correct and they sound incorrect.
Oh my God, yeah. And everyone was like, it sounds wrong. I'm like, no, but this is actually how it's pronounced. Sadly, it is.
While Donald Trump hits his notes, Steve Bannon hit his notes again and just, played to the crowd. But by the crowd, I mean like the crowd that will stand up and Sieg Heil with him.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. The European crowd.
Yeah, the European crowd. Yeah, this is like CPAC looking at then like the demographics, right? Oh yeah, how do we appeal to these European right wingers? And Steve Bannon's like, I got it, I'm the man for the job. However, Steve Bannon, if you wonder why he was not there to speak, I think also like Donald Trump. He's not allowed to leave the country because he is currently being investigated for his involvement with June 6th.
Yeah. I Googled it and like it's literally that because he was sentenced to jail but then released with bail. And then, one of the conditions was that he can't leave the country.
Amazing. Which, I mean, to be very, like, this is the thing I don't think people understand entirely within the right-wing movement about, like, shit like that makes Steve Bannon one of the most, like, uncool people in the world seem cool to these people.
Yeah.
Because, you know, being on, like, a no-fly list for being, like, politically insane. It wasn't even because of his politics. It's because he's so bad at, like, hiding his shady money shit.
Yeah.
Like, he was arrested on a yacht with Guo Hongwei in Italy.
Yeah.
A guy who he is trying to do a kind of the same thing that he tried in Europe with his internationalist nationalist movement thing. We watched the Steve Bannon documentary that was genuinely pathetic because no one in Europe really wanted to deal with him anymore because he wasn't there with Trump. Remember, Trump pushed him to the side. Yeah. Now Trump and Bannon are like kind of ish okay again. Yeah. But they're like, you know, Donald Trump has called Steve Bannon just straight up a Nazi before and stuff. Like there's been, or I think he called him a white supremacist. Even like Trump has said that Steve Bannon's too insane, which is kind of saying a lot. However, which is perfect for the people in Europe that go to the CPAC. Yeah, exactly, because they're like, all right, I got to see my 2 favorite boys, my 2 favorite Americans. Exactly. But so. Steve Bannon got the memo, knew exactly what to do, played all the hits, did not, I honestly am surprised I didn't hear, like, the word, like, national Bolshevism come out of his mouth, because that's what the tone of that sounded like. It's what you would expect from that. Yeah, surprised actually no cultural Marxism references, but I guess that's out, and now woke is in. Yeah, you know? I think for them, woke just means everything. Yeah. Like, it doesn't... It's communism. It's well, because Trump does is like, you know, we're against the Marxists and the communists and the socialists. Like he mentioned that in his thing. Yeah. Where hilariously, Trump also recognizes that he's like, what is it, socialism and sometimes even the communists. He acknowledges that there is a difference between socialism and communism. And yes, Trump is right. Socialism is the final step. Communism is the final step of socialism. Any sock dem who tells you, oh no. Is wrong. Like the unfortunate thing is that yes, The
Even
right
Trump
is right.
is right,
Even
yeah.
Trump is right about that. Yeah. So there was, I mean, those were the 3 video messages that really, I mean, aside from the Masha Blackburn one as well, too, that I threw at the beginning of the episode because she, again, did not get the memo.
Yeah, she
did not know who she was talking to.
Nope.
Those were the 3 Americans that stuck out to me.
Yeah.
However,
I have.
yeah, this was a group assignment. You know, please present your work to the class, Uma.
Now it's the time for my man. So Santiago Abascal, obviously, also said he's the first.
That's me yelling when I saw his face. Whatever the convention center in Budapest is.
For those of you who don't know, he is the leader of Vox, which is the far right party in Spain. But I assume we all know that. Anyway, he also couldn't make it, sadly. I don't know why. And he sent a video with like this very ugly like green background, which green is the color of Vox for whatever reason. And he is kind of like Steve Bannon in his message, but also like very Spain focused. Like he doesn't understand the international kind of side of things, but he's very much like, we're fighting against the worst leftist government in Europe, like victimizing himself. Even
he's talking about
Pedro Sanchez, who is the mild, like he's barely, he's not a leftist, like, maybe like others in his party or like in Podemos are, but like Pedro Sanchez himself, he's not. He's like a centrist at best. And he's like victimizing himself, like, we're fighting against the worst leftist government in Europe, and we need to fight for our family and our ideals, and like, well, basically what
it's the same.
all of them say.
Yeah, it's the same. I mean, I tried to listen to some of the live streams again, which is impossible because something that CPAC Hungary does not seem to understand is that if you're going to make yourself the European bastion of internationalist nationalism, maybe Hungarian shouldn't be your lingua franca.
Yeah.
I get it. You can't pick German. All right. You're a bunch of right wingers. You guys probably all do speak German.
Yeah.
Because you know what? You were that kid who was a little bit too into World War II.
Knew all the weapons.
Knew all the weapons, but for the bad reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Not for the good, not for the good, normal, like maybe you have a brain developmental disorder and you find dumb shit like that cool. And that's the thing, you know what? Yeah, whatever. No. You were fascinated with Nazism and,
it's those people that go to like this recreation, historical
summer
recreation
camp,
as Nazis, and they're like, somebody needs to cosplay as the Nazis. Not everybody can be an American GI.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, it's like you could easily do that in the sense of like, okay, don't do that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Don't do war recruitment.
Hey, pro tip: don't
have that be your hobby.
Nerd.
Yeah, there's get into like video games or some shit. I don't know. I mean, or maybe don't. There's no good way of doing this. I don't know. Anyway, yes, you got to have some way of communicating your message to everyone. And the thing I find, again, remember, the production of all of this is so low. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it's because CPAC Hungary is its own separate entity. Their money obviously comes from the United States. CPAC is a very big organization, and it would be in CPAC's interest. If anyone from CPAC is listening, don't do this, because I don't want you to be successful. But everything is overdubbed only into Hungarian.
It's so stupid. It's like it's what you're saying. Like they're trying to be international. They have all these international guests, even though like 90% are American. But fine, whatever. And then they dub everything in Hungarian, and even like they have like weird ads about the event in their YouTube channel. They're all also in Hungarian.
Yeah.
Like also badly dubbed, like in a weird like. Also, I didn't know Hungarian was this weird.
You never heard Hungarian before?
No.
Oh, well,
so I was also
congratulations.
shocked about that.
It sounds a bit like alien speak, I think, because it's so random. Completely like, I mean, yeah, it's a Uralic language. There's nothing that'll sound similar to it in Finnish? Estonian? Yeah, that's it. Those are the only two.
But yeah, everything is Hungarian, and it's like this is not the way to pull in like an international audience. Like, why are you?
But you know what is though the way to maybe like get some of that the youth on board is these another thing too that also just struck me, and I think that they use similar names every year for these panels.
Oh my god, yeah, the name of the panels.
There was I have to pull up the agenda again one more time because I wrote down only a few of them and I kept finding more and more. I'm like, I'm not going to write down every single one of them, so I'm just going to go through the list of what I see. So we have the No Woke Zone.
That one is my favorite.
Who
it's so
is
it's opened by the Tucker Carlson video.
Yeah. So the Tucker Carlson video starts with the now it says former Fox News host. I feel that a week ago it did not say that.
No.
Also, there are a bunch of like spelling mistakes everywhere, which is really funny to me because again, CPAC is an American company.
Yeah.
And there are
they did not pay.
They did not pay, and then the thing that's even funnier too with the speakers is that then they just get lazier and lazier with the descriptions. But we'll get to that later. So yeah, got the No Woke Zone, The Bold Truth, which had Zoltan Kovacs and Jack Posobiec on it, in case everyone has completely forgotten about him. And then Nation First.
Oh, lovely.
Future of Europe. And then this is my favorite one, all right? Get ready. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Listener, are you ready? Maybe you're following along because you found the link. Hungary, Israel's strongest European ally? I said that as a question. It was not a question. I'm asking, is this a question? No, it's Hungary, Israel's strongest European ally.
Yeah, it's a statement. Like, they're
yes,
sure
it is a
about
statement.
it. It's a statement.
Again, this is a country that did the Holocaust before the Holocaust started, and when the Nazis came, they were like stoked. All right, this is a country too that then Viktor Orban has been on a massive anti-Semitic, tirade against George Soros for the laziest anti-Semitic dog whistle that exists currently in Europe. But yeah, of course, Hungary, Israel's best friend. That one really got me.
This is a senior lecturer from the University of Jerusalem.
Yeah, of course.
What the fuck? Imagine you studying there and you find out that your professor just fucked off a week 2 days to like CPAC.
Yeah, to go to fucking CPAC Hungary with all your best friends.
CPAC. Oh my god.
All right. And then we got video message from the USA, which they didn't say who it was, but we all knew who it was. That's right. That was our boy.
Yeah.
Big Donnie Trump at 9 a.m.
Oh my god.
on Friday. All right, and then we have the In God We Trust panel discussion, which is what is written on American money.
Are you serious?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So again,
that is so
make the family
weird.
great again. Like none of this stuff, no border, no nation panel discussion, which I'm confused. This is also then hilariously on this. This is a former MEP from Fidesz speaking alongside Hans-Georg Maaßen.
Oh my god!
For that one,
the names of these panels are kind of reminding me of the Habsburg
the chapters.
Yeah, the chapters. Yeah. Especially like In God We Trust and stuff like that. Like I'm surprised he wasn't in that.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Panel.
Why didn't you invite the posting Habsburg?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, and then we got the free speech panel discussion. Also, again, like I said, there is no cohesive grammar on any of this or punctuation. I don't know why some things are capitalized and some things aren't. It is perfect. The amount of, again, like I said, production quality on this entire thing. All the videos that then go over look like, again, my computer said that I was in 1080p, but it looks like it's in like whatever that like 240. Yeah. It's everything's all shitty and pixelated until like Trump pops up because his video was shot in probably 4K or whatever.
Yeah.
But the graphic that they have and the music, it's like we were joking on off mic of this is the antithesis of Eurovision.
Yeah.
This is evil Eurovision.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, if you watch one of these videos, the opening title thing, it sounds and looks like evil Eurovision.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's just like, you know, when they come back from the ad break and they have to put like the logo of the show, it's literally that. Like, it's so bad. Bro, so you missed the Make Kids Not War.
Oh shit! How did I miss that one? I think I wrote that even on the list too.
It's above the Make the Family Great Again.
Yeah, Make Kids Not War.
Make Kids Not War. That is.
That's.
Exactly.
Or was
What
that
the
one
fuck?
from?
Sorry,
or was that one
Penny?
from last year's? No, I
No,
think
no.
that no, because they changed the name of it this year to Make the Family Great Again. Last year's
okay.
it was called. That was a mistake on my part because again, remember this website is impossible to navigate.
Sense, yeah.
All right, so
Sorry, there's this thing called Concerned Women for America. Like an organization, so in like the Make the Family Great Again panel discussion, there's like She Bradley Farrell, president of Counterpoint Institute, and Penny Nance, president of Concerned Women for America.
I'm
a concerned woman, but not for America.
All right, so we have about 20 minutes so left.
Okay.
All right, and so the big meat and potatoes of this too is that you're probably wondering who the fuck speaks at this because we just went through the video messages. All right, I talked about then a few of our pals, Hans-Georg Maassen. Shout out to the real one. Sorry you lost your job for being too much of a fascist. Glad that you're finding your people. But the thing that I really appreciate is that whoever made the list clearly listens to our show. Clearly is a Corner Späti listener.
Yep.
Because, all right, start the... Yeah, leading off, we have... this is a long list, so I'm just going to kind of go through who hit, obviously some people need no introduction. You got, big man, first person who pops up, Viktor Orban. Round of applause, of course. I really do think that CPAC Hungary is just the Viktor Orban show. It should become the Viktor Orban show if it isn't. Also, again, the thing that then's really interesting, and I would say that then is nice for the nationalist movements, is that Viktor Orban's English is perfect. So Viktor Orban can do the whole, song and dance, this and that, and then, however, he did all this shit in Hungarian. However, Viktor Orban also went last year to Texas to speak at CPAC in the United States.
Okay.
So Viktor Orban is slowly becoming, not slowly, I guess, because he's been a big factor in the right in Europe for a while.
Yeah.
But Viktor Orban's been getting like international recognition within these movements. So no surprise, first on the list is the current Prime Minister of Hungary. And then the second person, because obviously we have to have, prime ministers are very important. We have Irakli Garibashvili. Now, if this name sounds familiar to you, and you're a big Corner Späti fan, as in you're a big fan of Kieran Dold, you would know, yes, is that the CEO of Bera's record label? And you would be correct. That is. So I hope that he came with the discussion of how to, release a sick rap song and, boost the rap career of the dude who funded your party's son, whatever nonsense.
Yeah.
How to,
Oh, is that the video that you guys showed me?
Yeah, Georgian
the
Dream.
Eurovibes thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Georgian Dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Bera. Well,
that's amazing.
This is I guess he's CEO, but I'm gonna call him Bera's manager. So I'm assuming that this is how you can, how I don't know, fascism and influence people too. I don't fucking know. I don't know what this discussion would be. How to run a record label. Who knows?
Imagine he just he thinks it's a different kind of conference, and he just starts talking about music and not producing an album.
Bear and I were in the studio.
The Italian little boy goes up to him after, actually, I've always wanted to record a rap single.
We will get to the Italian child later. Child. He's older than me, but whatever.
No, but he looks 10, so
Oh, yeah.
we're going to call him a child.
And then we got
anyway.
Matt Schlapp, actually, because he's American, who, for those who don't know, he's the head of CPAC. Again, I love the American conservative aesthetic. For those who don't know what he looks like, he's a very tan man with very white hair.
Oh,
he's very
jeez.
gross looking.
I'm going to Google it.
Very shiny teeth, too.
No, the American veneers.
Yeah. All right. And then we talked about...
Yeah.
Did we talk about Bolsonaro's dipshit son? No. Okay, yeah. Again, remember, a lot of people couldn't come. A lot of people were very sad that they couldn't come. That is including Eduardo Bolsonaro,
Oh
who...
my god, the video that he made, like, it's in his office, I suppose, but there's a picture of his dad behind him, and it looks like he passed away. And he's just like speaking very like.
Eyes of an angel.
He also has a "Don't Tread on Me" poster next to him,
Oh,
and the
yeah.
Second Amendment poster, baby, also, and a Trump. It's not a Funko, a bobblehead. Is it called?
Bobblehead, yeah.
Bobblehead, yeah. It's. I don't know. It looks like a 16-year-old's like room, plus a massive picture of his dad.
Yeah.
Which is very
It's a 16-year-old's room when the thing he's into is the American style of fascism.
It's being edgy. Yeah,
Yeah.
being edgy on Reddit or Discord or whatever.
Yeah,
Or
it's
even
like
Twitter.
it really is. It is very funny to me how some countries really can take in the American what's it called? Like the American aesthetic of the Trump movement very well. The Bolsonaro one works perfectly.
Yeah.
As we're talking as well off camera. I think that probably has to do with the sense that the histories of the United States and Brazil are much closer to one another, of being settled colonial places. Than like the race war shit, this and that. That type of shit works really well in Brazil. You know, gun
for
ownership shit, this and that. But yeah, just yeah. Just the posters in the room are just it's so lame.
Of the room is just very. And you know what's sad? It's like obviously he thinks it looks good and cool, and like look at what I have, you know, like. But yeah, I'm just very creeped out by the massive picture of his dad behind him.
I mean, who doesn't have a big picture of their dad in their room?
Oh no!
All right, and the next one. That's right, baby.
Tun, tun, tun.
Home state loser for me. Now I'm surprised that they didn't like say that she won the election, but because it just says candidate for Arizona governor and then says winner of the CPAC vice president straw poll. So get ready for, I guess I'm assuming to be then Trump's running mate. That is Carrie Lake. All right. Now, for those who don't know, Carrie Lake is really funny because Carrie Lake used to be the news anchor for Channel 3 News in Phoenix.
Okay, really?
Yeah. For like ever, when I was like a kid. And then she ran for governor recently, and she was the one who threw a fit saying that that she wanted like continuous recounts, and the state kept just being like, we're not taking up your case, like, you know, this and that, and did the whole like voter fraud thing. She's like, oh yeah, no, the election doesn't matter, this and that, and then she dropped that whole song and dance for like 2 weeks after that. Then that happened. However, I think I've realized that the only reason that they all do that is that so then Trump doesn't call them losers.
Oh, okay.
Because once you like admit that you like have like been defeated, Trump's like, oh, you know, Carrie Lake, whatever, loser, this and that. Where she's like, oh yeah, you know, the woke PC state of Arizona is preventing me from. It's like, no, you like she significantly lost.
Yeah.
But anyway, I really appreciated that. Then another way too many people from Arizona here. By the way, another, you know, we can quickly go through a couple of other ones. We got Andrzej Babiš and Jansha, who are corner Späti favorites. We have full episodes on both of them. Go back and listen to them. Janša has tweeted out the show before. So, shout out to a true Corner Späti fan. That is right, former Slovenian Prime Minister.
Oh my God. You guys have beef with the most random people.
We have beef with no one.
Well, not beef, but like random Twitter interactions.
I mean, it's not my fault that he can't read. I mean, come on. Like, our logo literally is the GDR's logo differently. Like, what would you expect?
Yeah, fair enough.
And then, again, I really love how then they call Paul Gosar, another Arizona, friend of mine, a guy who is so openly a white nationalist that his entire family said, "Do not vote for my dad. My dad is my dad's a Nazi."
A Nazi. Oh my God! Imagine.
He still won though because Prescott's it does not surprise me that Prescott votes for Nazis. Let's just say that Prescott has a lot of actual card carrying swastika, fucking Sieg Heiling actual Nazi groups in it.
Okay.
Paul Gosar though is labeled here as the daredevil from the U.S. Congress from Arizona. So I guess you can't call the one true European fascist. All right. Someone who is not European, so sorry, we're not going to talk about you. And then this is a person who's very interesting to me.
Who?
Francesco.
Oh, the child.
What is it? Giobielli? And he is president of Nazione Futura, the conservative Renaissance man, they call him. Now, I didn't know who he was. However, I was intrigued in the sense that then now who is this, Italian version of, I guess Ben Shapiro or something like that is what he's trying to be.
Yes.
Or who's the TP USA guy? The one with the gums. And the face.
Oh no, I don't know.
The Toilet Paper USA kid. So Francesco, our boy over here, is someone that then I feel that we need to do an entire episode about because Kieran Kieran and I will break.
Love him.
So I just simply, did the most basic research. And when you look up conservatism in Italy on Wikipedia, it's very cool that his name is put right next to Julius Evola's name. A great, great compatriot, I guess, if you will. But he started writing books at the age of 13.
That is so weird. 13, but you're not even writing about dragons or nice stuff.
No, you're writing about how do I preserve the Italian race.
Yeah, no, literally, what the fuck, man? Where are you? Ugh.
So he wrote his first book when he was 13 years old, and then it was published when he was 15. He then apparently won a literary contest with his short stories or whatever, this and that, so on and so forth. Kind of this the thing that you'll notice is a lot too in the conservative movements, just especially in the U.S. more so, is that they always kind of look for these child prodigy stars, but they're never this young.
Yeah.
So at 16, he had his first publishing company called Historica Edizioni, and then founded a second publishing house, and with a conservative businessman, this and that. But anyway, he is now at the age of 30, mind you, or 31. He is an advisor for the current government of Meloni, of the Minister of Culture, within the Ministry of Culture. So keep your eyes out for when we do a deep dive on our goodest bad boy.
I'm so curious to see how he sounds like.
Yeah. And then the list kind of more or less becomes a bunch of nameless, faceless losers people, who they got all to speak. Again, like I said, I don't know who any of these people are halfway through the list until then we start getting to the real bangers.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, they got Herman Tech as well, who is the MEP for Vox in Spain. So he's Spanish, and his name is Herman Tech. So we all know, what kind of parents he had. And also, he was involved in some drama, I guess, last year because he called into a session of the European Parliament from a restaurant, clearly drunk, and got upset that the servers from the restaurant were like walking around him because they were fucking working. And it was just like fucking ridiculous. That's like the quality of Vox for you.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's
All right, so again, we got his name is also spelled the German way. The first name I didn't realize
Hermann Tertsch, like it's fully German.
Jesus Christ,
Yep,
that is depressing.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bunch of people from Vox and stuff like that as well. A bunch of people from Fidesz, and then ones that really struck me as funny was all right. So they have Ben Ferguson, who, if you don't know, he's just a political commentator from the U.S. But it says America's top political commentator, who again, remember, I think we're all familiar enough with the United States, and I don't know who the fuck this is.
Okay.
I don't know who Ben Ferguson is. I mean, I think I've seen like one of his videos pop up like the descriptions start getting sillier and sillier and sillier. It'll be just like, and then some just get really lazy, like Rick Santorum is there. Former U.S. Senator from Pennsylvania. Not even going to mention that he ran for president. Okay. Like just a absolute loser. There was another one too that then hit me as very funny as well. From also last year, Jack Posobiec I mentioned as well, and then the one that just again that killed me was that they got fucking Hans-Georg Maaßen there, which is perfect, and obviously, of course, for all the president of Chega, Andre Ventura, who we've also talked about Chega before in a previous episode. We cannot go through all of the ghouls.
It basically looks like they went through Karen's notes and were like, and they were like, oh yes, this person we like. Okay, this other person, yes, hell yeah. Or either that, or they just went through the titles on Spotify. Like of the episodes.
Oh, absolutely. They're like, oh, Chega, yeah, mark that one. I mean, to be very fair, okay, a lot of these parties are big enough to the point that if there is a who's who of Europe, they got some pretty heavy hitters. They also got some like absolute goofballs. Like I don't know who wants to go see Janša speak. Yeah. Because sorry, no offense to any Slovenian listeners, but I did not know that he was your president or your prime minister until I realized that he was a poster. Oh. So, the posting prime minister is definitely. I should follow him. They
do have like a bunch of people that not even right wingers in their countries have heard of. Like, there's also from Spain. There's there's the Vox people, sure, but there's also like
this Juan Angel Soto Gomez.
Yeah, like
I'm not like
CEO from like this random right wing think tank that like nobody fucking cares about and like nobody has heard about.
Do you want to hear his description?
Oh God, okay.
Faithful advocate of Spanish patriot. of Spanish patriotism.
Oh, so Nazi. So Francoist, basically.
I mean, fill in the blanks, right? Very funny too is how they have dropped the UK.
Oh, true.
There is not one British person who spoke.
They're like, you're not European anymore.
Well, and this is the thing I find that's just kind of also. Oh, obviously, of course, we cannot forget that they also got what's his name from ECRA as well. Not the funny.
Oh, Tom. No. What was it?
I'll find it here. But anyway, so I mean, ECRA, like again, Estonian, like. Borderline neo-Nazis, they really, again, when people say that, then like the Chinese Communist Party has a lot of political diversity in it, like it has like actually the Chinese Communist Party probably has more political diversity in it than like a lot of like American politics does. All right, well, you got that here as well. All right, the political diversity amongst that of the CPAC people of the CPAC Hungary ranges from like full blown out and out just straight up blood and soil nationalism or Nazism or fascism, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Okay. So, do you really want Martin Helme, the president of the Estonian party ECRA, who warned of the dangers of illegal migration? That is his little thing underneath it. Liking your haircut, bro, does not look remotely problematic. All right, your little Hayot haircut, homie.
Fucking 1940s fade.
And then the thing is, so you'll have people who like literally are like struggle to not like, you know, walk around continuously goose marching all the time or goose stepping side by side with like Fox News correspondents who have like no idea what's going on.
That's the thing. Like, it's such a random, like, you have all these Americans, like, also the ones that sent a video that, yeah, they're trying to talk in a way that they're not so fascist or like, you know, it's just like the American right-wing way of speaking. And then, as you said, you have like Nazis in this conference.
Oh yeah, you have people that I think
highly.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken too, I like read notes about like last year's CPAC where like there were people who apparently made very bad comments like about Roma and stuff like that, which is like obviously you weren't like obviously to be expected.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, could you imagine that then like you're you know. I'm just a lowly Fox News correspondent, and you're hearing some guy from like, you know,
they don't even know what Roma people are.
Exactly.
Like, wait,
you're
what?
like going on, you have your little headset translating some guy speaking some language you've never heard of in your life or never will hear of ever again in your life either. And then just the translator just going on and be like, yes, and this is why the Roma populations of Europe need to... And then, you know, just like... I would be very curious of what it would be like as if you're an American right-winger of that then like, do you come out of here and you're all like... I'm not into this anymore. Like, do people like, have that?
Fuck yeah, I love
or
this.
Or are they like, they're like, oh my God, I've wanted this all along. Yeah. Why can't we Zeke Heil in public? Actually, you can. There's nothing stopping you in the United States. But the little Fox News correspondent comes home and is like, damn, you know what? I wish that there was an American version of Ekra.
Yeah, I wonder what we need to go next year to like the exit and just like every American be like, so what is your position now? What do you feel like?
I really the last kind of other thing that then to touch on as well too was this post that I saw that was made of that there were art installations as well.
What?
Yeah. At the at CPAC Hungary, there was first off, the entrance to CPAC Hungary was just a big thing that said it is the no woke zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw this. Which again, like I said,
I don't know why it makes me laugh so much. No woke zone, like it just, I don't know. I find it so silly, so like childish that it just makes me laugh every time that I see it.
Yeah, it's. I'm sorry, do like half of these? I genuinely
scrolling through the Twitter account.
Do you like wonder like? All right, this is gonna be really mean of me. Do you think that then that like they find like that there's like some right wingers who go in this who are like, this is too American?
I don't.
Because this is like it's corny, but this is all just like directly brought in.
Yeah, that's
the no
true.
woke zone again, like I said earlier, just reminds me of the Ray song "No Flex Zone."
I think yes. Initially, they are probably like, "Oh no, this is not like as Nazi as I want it to be." But then once you're inside, like we saw the people are speaking. Like there's like a random Fox News correspondent, but like most of the other people are
you
like,
can go up to your boys and you
can find your people.
You can go into the dark room, but by the dark room I mean that the little secret area where you can do your Roman salutes, dare I say. And then my favorite thing, which was and I assume that you saw this as well, was a model of the country of Hungary.
I did not see it.
And
no country for woke, man.
Yeah.
Who comes up with these? Oh my god.
I don't know, but
that
it is
so childish.
It is very funny to me that then all this stuff again is just shipped in from the United States and they couldn't have offered a proper, like, I could not watch it.
Oh yeah. No,
I physically could not understand anything that was going on.
Yeah.
Aside from the video messages. Like, don't get me wrong. I really wish. I'm sorry that we could not give you a context of what happened in the speeches because everything is fucking overdubbed in Hungarian.
Yeah.
All right. And I really wanted to hear what Hans-Georg Maassen had to say. I'll find the video eventually. Don't get me wrong. I mean, for those who want to go and actually like listen to this garbage.
Yeah.
Again, I went back and listened to some like other speeches I've heard that then have been in previous years as well too, and you kind of like piece together some things as well. Like Candace Owens spoke last year.
Oh,
it's just the same,
sake.
you know.
The same talking points over and over again.
Oh, the woke and the gender and the this and the that.
Yeah,
it's it's annoying. Like that shit. I want to hear. What does ECRA have to say at CPAC? Like, I want to hear what the blood and soil nationalists who come to these conferences like.
Do you think they like kind of censor themselves, or do you think they go all the way in?
I don't know. Like, what does like a right wing safe space like this look like? It because also too like, if I'm not mistaken, journalists are allowed to cover it. Like CPAC is like kind of open, kind of not. I've heard that then in the United States too, journalists will go and cover it, get bullied, this and that and that. Okay. I know that then like the thing that's always kind of funny to me as well with CPAC is that then every pearl clutching lib was just like, this is it's a gathering of right wing extremists. It's like, yeah, it is, but like. The banner of it done in such a goofy way, like CPAC Hungary, if it got a bigger platform, could be a thing that would make like it's so incoherent and stupid, and like not saying that then that it's like, oh well, it makes the right look goofy, but it really just kind of shows you that then it's like the American style of this movement is kind of not coherent. It's like it's not cohesively fascist enough for the Europeans. Like they'll go on with the like, oh, we're anti-woke, this and that and that, but like what happens then after that? Woke is a trend. You know, Germany never had their like cultural Marxism moment that like happened in the 2000s. Like the kulturelle Marxismus discussion never fully came on here like it did in the US like 10 years ago. To be very fair, Germany already had the discussion in the 30s with the like, cultural Bolshevism, but you know, it's like you can't hash out this stuff in this like this lukewarm way because the real scary version of it already exists in your way.
And they're in the same room as you.
So it's like, how do you then get these people to then like exactly like you said, is that then it's like what is a panel like with like two dudes who like, you know, probably when they were like 24 years old had like a neo-Nazi publishing company or something like that. Like I am very curious if they've had members of Golden Dawn speak.
Oh my god.
Stuff like that. Oh no. They wouldn't have. They 2022 was the first year. So they were already in prison. But you know, now that Golden Dawn's not allowed to run in their election, womp womp, sorry about that. Like what parties then are too extreme? You know, what's the like? Because CPAC doesn't have clearly a barometer of European politics at all.
No.
They don't understand the sense that even like I even think that then Donald Trump himself wouldn't want to be seen side by side with some of these people if he actually knew who they were. You know, because again, like there are people in this who I can guarantee you have like either. Again, personal. I mean, but who was it? There was that like Republican donor though too, who had a bunch of like personal Hitler shit and whatnot as well. So.
Oh yeah.
So you know, again, like I guess maybe.
Oh, the discourse on Twitter over that was so fucking stupid, man. Jesus Christ, like.
Oh yeah, like maybe it's not the worst thing to own Nazi memorabilia. It's like maybe it's not the worst thing. It's still not great though.
Yeah. He was like proudly displaying like a Mein Kampf copy, like allegedly signed by Hitler. Like you don't need to have that.
Yeah.
You can be into history without buying that shit.
But this is the difference, though. Is that in the United States, I can guarantee you that then even regardless of the politics of this guy being an absolute freak, there's a bit of like edgelord shit to it. Yeah. However, if a European owns a copy of Mein Kampf, there is no
You know what
they're thinking. All right. Show of hands in the room of CPAC Hungary. How many of y'all have a copy of Mein Kampf?
Oh my god! At least 99% of them. Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah. So I don't know. I'm curious too if this even actually has a future in Europe because they promote it and cover it so badly.
Yeah.
And I think the thing that then is giving it a little bit more credit than it actually is liberals freaking out about it, being like, there's so many right-wing extremists, instead of realizing that then that their message can't even get out because no one speaks Hungarian.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I know that then, like, again, they probably all know German, and they probably all know some other fucking psychotic, like...
English,
yeah, whatever. Some other, whatever, like the lingua franca of fascists is. And I'm sorry, Hungarian is far too difficult a language to make that happen. So, not to bash on the Hungarian language any more than I've already have today, but a language that has like 40-something cases might not be the best.
Yeah.
And that has no connection to any other language nearby it. Just, again, if this were to be, I would say... okay, it is problematic. It's very problematic that all these people are in the same room.
It's easy.
All right. Yeah, it is easy to get a bunch of your best friends into the same room. That's what Uma means. Yeah, throwing parties is an easy thing. But do I see this as like such a dangerous thing? And the funny thing is that, like, hilariously, I think the organization of it is so bad that
it's not gonna take, like, it's
I'm a nerd for this shit, and I didn't know that it was happening until like 3 days ago.
Literally,
yeah.
Like, they had already started, and you sent me the link, like, oh my god, this is happening.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, what the fuck?
Because I remember when CPAC Hungary happened last year. Like, we didn't talk about it, but like I remember them seeing things that it was a thing, and it always happens around the same time. I knew that CPAC Brazil was a thing because that was a huge one. There's CPAC Mexico as well, which is hilarious if that exists.
Yeah, that's so random.
CPAC in the United States, they've been trying to do CPAC Japan and whatnot, just like CPAC all over the world. And yeah, but I just think that also maybe because that Europe is, originator of fascism, sure, whatever, yeah, but that the style of politics that a lot of these people like does originate in Europe. And I think that at the end of the day, it's like, Hungary serves as a good place for these organizations and groups to meet up. However, I also just think that in the sense that that they don't know how to even bother to like make this appealing to anyone is kind of like, I don't see it lasting very long. Like, I see them maybe doing 1 or 2 more years and then realizing that it won't work because, again, I couldn't watch the live stream.
That's the thing. Like, nobody can watch the live stream that is in there.
It also didn't work half the time.
Yeah, it didn't work. Like, the website, as we mentioned many times, it's just horrible. And as you said also, everybody there is like, some of them are Nazis, some of them are just like random right-wingers, some of them are just a bit conservative. Like, it's so random. There's no cohesion. And like, all the fascists are already focused on like bringing fascism to their own countries. Like, why are they going to bother to go to this thing and like...
Well, it's to kind of like show the class, here's what I've done this year,
Well, yeah, always. It's like it's a CV thing, kind of like, oh, look cool, like I was invited to this, like how cool, da da da. But like, why are you like? The only people that are more excited about it is just like random CEO from like think tanks. Jesus, I hate that word.
I'm sorry.
Or like, like actual politicians, like Santiago Pascal, I bet he could go. He could go. Like, what the fuck does he have going on? Like, I think they have a demonstration like in Spain this weekend, but like that's it. He has
aside from like
on.
Fidesz and Hans-Georg Maaßen,
yeah,
most of these parties, again, Hans-Georg Maaßen being from the fucking CDU, mind you, that you have a member of the CDU associating with like literal card-carrying Nazis, which I would say is more of a personal problem for the CDU than a problem I fucking care about because this is nothing new with him, The CDU could have kicked him out forever ago, but kicking someone out of a party in Germany is really difficult anyway. And not that it would like matter because the CDU has plenty of other look at them like local politicians in like Berlin and Brandenburg, and then their like titles on their like Facebook pages are just like mein Herz schlägt für mein Vaterland, and it's like a fucking like tiger tank.
Oh god, jeez.
And then most of these, Janša not in government, Babiš not in government, like, not saying that then that the right isn't, bad and scary right now. I mean, the right is always like a thing that I think we have to like focus on as not good. But the bigger problem currently is that centrism is the thing that then's moving further right. I mean, like France is the best current example of like Macron.
Yeah.
The UK. I mean, look at the coronation shit today of just that like everyone's being arrested, and then
the Republic group,
Germany. You have a quote unquote center left government that then like can't do two things right to save itself and will immediately be voted out, and will have a quote-unquote center-right government back in power, who, again, has the likes of Hans-Georg Maaßen in them. So I'm not, like, CPAC is these people are, again, like, they are the furthest right of the right in some cases in Europe. I mean, the only further right that you can get literally is if, like, okay, you're in Hungary, I don't know, go find, like, a Nazi music festival. I mean, like, how much further right-wing do you want to get where you're going to see all your, your best friends and have a great time? So I don't, like, that kind of professionalism of the ultra-right, again, ECRA is, Estonia did well with their really well in their election because of the current war in Ukraine and whatnot, and this and that and that. Finland, the right, but that's kind of the willingness that the center right parties are willing to work with the further right as well. So it's like where other countries, again, we mentioned the UK, Germany, France, where the problem comes from more of these internal, like where the centrists are the ones that then kind of be like, okay, well, we can have a little bit of fascism, we can get a little bit of that, a little bit of like, I think that's probably like, I don't know, like that's the thing that then when I look at it, like, okay, the bigger problems currently in Europe aren't coming from like, are the ultra right talking points being used? But I'm not hearing them coming out of these people's mouths. And the people's mouths who they're coming out of, gotta say, fucking irrelevant. Again, ECRA, I'm calling the guy from ECRA, because I don't give two shits about what his name actually is. I don't care what the man from Chega's name is. I don't care. I'm not gonna go out of my way to find out what a completely worthless little slug from like a little fucking irrelevant party from a barely relevant country in Europe is. Sorry. I am gonna care about Olaf Scholz, Friedrich Merz is probably one of the biggest examples of like far right-wing extremism in Europe being very legitimized within policies of the AfD. Also, no AfD speakers.
True.
Very weird.
No German, no, in general.
No, just Hans-Georg Maaßen, a few Austrians from the FPÖ and whatnot, but maybe they're just too afraid to be like, if we have too many Germans, they're gonna get the vibe.
They're gonna know what you are.
And I mean, to be very fair too, I think that then, I mean, obviously we have to go look at previous years, or then who as well has spoken at these or at CPAC adjacent events in the US. But yeah, like I think that then that maybe CPAC is a bit aware that then, okay, maybe they can't invite Alice Weidel, or they can't invite, certain people. Also Niall Farage is clearly out of anything cool in this movement.
True. I haven't really heard of him lately. Doesn't he have a talk show, like a random...
on
YouTube? Or no, it's not YouTube, but it's like I don't think it's
on LBC or whatever. Yeah. It was for a while, but then now he like is like doing something else.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, his life is literally just like, how can I scam continuously and get away with it? It's it's kind of like, if he wasn't such a piece of shit, I would kind of low key respect it.
Yeah. Oh, it's like that Korean that lies to Americans about North Korea.
Oh yeah. Come on, like amazing career. If like
kind of respect the hustle.
If you can scam off dumb people and you yourself don't hold those like that's the thing about Nigel Farage, is that he believes his own shit.
No, he is a piece of shit. Yeah.
Where I mean, if you're just gonna grind, and just make shit up, go for it. We love it. But I don't know. I mean, like I think that CPAC Europe is going to remain, just if it does, just like a funny amalgamation of just like, a bunch of posers.
Yeah.
Not like posers is the wrong word. They're not posers. They're far right wingers, but like completely irrelevant dullards.
But it's not relevant exactly. Yeah. I don't think it will be relevant at all. Like there's no marketing whatsoever.
None. Yeah.
Nobody knows it's happening. Just the people that are invited. You can't watch it. The website sucks. It's gonna stay irrelevant, I think.
Yeah, and that's why the scarier things in Europe are happening, elsewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, Hungary is the shit. Like the thing that then I just kind of like one little note about that as well is that like Hungary is continuously trying to always legitimize itself as this like cultural and an ideological hub for the right. However, I'm very curious in the sense of what their position, like Hungary's position, particularly in like the Ukraine war, of being very like anti-NATO, but then also that then there was stuff that came out that I think that they were like helping get weapons to Ukraine or something like that, or Serbia was, whatever. Yeah. Like, there's not like the alliance between even like the right and Hungary has drastically dropped because PIS isn't there. Not one Polish member was there. A party that then I'm pretty sure you could have gotten a lot of members from the, especially because Hungary is also very Catholic. Hungary doesn't seem to be this bastion of like right-wing hope anymore because I think a lot of European right-wingers, like even like ECRA has a different opinion about probably half the shit than Viktor Orban does because of because of the war. ECRA has been very popular because they want to solidify their defensive capabilities. And if it was up to them, and they would probably try to like invade Russia themselves and start a fucking world war because Estonia is a NATO member.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Like that could also just tie into the fact that then that Viktor Orban. Yeah, I mean like his position on the Ukraine war is like it's like one of those things where it's like, yeah, okay, fine. Like he may not have like the worst of like he may not be like wrong about one thing in that regard, and just because that then Europe is like mad at him there doesn't make him right in any other sense.
Yeah, exactly.
However, it's really funny seeing how then like the right hates Russia so much right now that like I genuinely think that prevented a lot of people from going to speak there because they probably don't agree with Orban's politics. With the war.
Yeah, makes sense.
And that they're saying that Orban isn't pro-Ukraine enough, even though, like, again, Tucker Carlson said that, not Tucker Carlson, Steve Bannon commended Orban on being like, oh, you're like opposing the war and you brought in refugees. And then immediately then was like, and you stopped the bad refugees by building border walls, and the Muslims from coming into the country, whatever, this and that, or illegal immigration, whatever the fucking terms that they use. Yeah. So... yeah, I don't know. I don't see this sticking around much longer. That being said, if it happens next year, CPAC,
we will be there.
Hungary, be sure to at least see Kieran and I and, all of, and whoever does the planning for your thing, you could have just asked us,
Exactly.
You could have just asked us to make the roster. We would have made a better one than you, I think. I mean, because some of those names were fucking snoozers.
Yeah. Nobody knows them.
There's just a proposition. And before we go, unless you had any, more thoughts on...
No.
Yeah, I think we've exhausted talking about these absolute ghouls. So, okay, this episode's coming out on Monday, so this will be the last time I'll be doing this announcement. On Saturday the 13th, we will be live streaming the Eurovision Song Contest, giving your play-by-play commentary as you will. We'll be on twitch.tv/CornerSpäti. Obviously, as always, CornerSpäti is spelled wrong, as in AE for the...
Späti.
I guess it's still Späti, but whatever. Link will be, of course, in the description. Time, I don't know, unfortunately. Whenever Eurovision.
8 p.m.
8 p.m.?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Berlin time.
8 p.m. Berlin time. All the info is, of course, we're going to be posting it on our social media and whatnot. Link will be in the description. Join us in the chat. Hang out. have a blast. Watch us yell at a bunch of Europeans singing crappy songs and deciding which one is the best that we will defend for the entire year.
With sweat and blood.
Yeah, until the next one comes.
Exactly.
And there's nothing else to shout out, right?
Nope.
No. All right. Subscribe to the Patreon if you haven't. What's $3? €3 a month, something like that.
A bargain.
An absolute bargain. You get our entire back catalog, and for the Eurovision fans themselves, Kieran's been doing a Eurovision bonus series where he's been building it up, getting on fun guests, and talking with him about Eurovision. Some people who are big fans, some people who've never experienced it before. Last week he had myself and Chris Wade from. I just know him as the producer from Chapo, but I guess he has his own podcasts as well. But anyway, we had a absolute blast with him. And if you subscribe to the Patreon, you get everything. So and you help us out.
So
and
do
that's
it,
cool.
please.
And on that note, we will see you guys all next week.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.